Okay, this is new players. I've seen quite a few players in the chat when it's working, and I just want to help you along a bit. I've got a bunch. I know a lot about common champions, so I'm going to do a little demonstration on what we're doing. I'm pressing the wrong button. We're going to do water champions. Water champions. Okay. Let's have a look through. Tiki Hanani. If you summon these, you might be asking yourself, what do I do with these? Are they any good? Should I just bin them? I'm about to tell you that. I've nearly got them all to level 60. Nearly found a use for all of them. So I'm about to pass my wisdom on. Hanani, where would I use Hanani? Toughness, raise defense, haste. This is actually a good partner in Nightmare Co-op for a lot of things. Toughness is always great to have. Raise defense is always great to have, and the haste is good. Right, the haste is good because it buffs the bee in there, which gives it more damage, and she keeps everybody safe. So she's really good for Nightmare Co-op. It's not one of the first ones you build, but probably one of the later ones you build when you're looking to vary it up a bit. But she'll work at 50 because you can whack her on HP and she'd be very good. As for bosses, what boss would I use it on? I mean, you could use this on Steel Widow most likely, and Elder Drake. At level 50 she should work quite well. You don't need to get to a 6-star. I've got a 6-star, but you never need to do that. The Ranger, where would I use the Ranger? Let's have a look. Is she any good? Meh. I've never really liked the Rangers, but this one should work on OH quite well. Should work on OH quite well until you need red, but she will work quite well. Not one of the better characters of the common disc, but she's okay. Particularly OH is probably her strongest point. This guy is one of the best common disc champions there is. Quite simply put, this guy will do absolutely everything. There's nothing this guy won't do. You want to put him in arena defense? Great, he'll work. That immunity, he'll pop. It'll help you beat snipers. You want to put him in Guild War? Great. That immunity all the time, fantastic. And they disorientate. The fact that he's a tank is great. He'll work on HP, he'll work on defense. Definitely best on Adept. You want to put him in Elder Drake? Great. He'll go all the way up to the very last one. I don't think he needs to be green the last one. So yeah, he will go all the way to the top with that immunity. Steel Widow, done it. Steel Widow 15, certified. This guy. Blitz, he'll do all the Blitz, all of it, absolutely every bit. This guy is well worth a 6-star. You don't need 2 of them unless you're going to put them in Guild War defense. But by that time you've probably got another one. But this guy is absolutely awesome. That's 10,000% worth it. But the only thing he lacks on is co-op. He's not so good at co-op, but he can lower the defense if his accuracy is high enough. But it's not really that. It's more about the immunity with this guy. But the accuracy is great. You want to aim for 75% if you can. If you can't, it's okay. Something else can lower defense. The boon you actually get with the start, the boon, is she any good? She is okay if paired with an Esper. That'll bring the best out of her. She can work on Nightmare Co-op because I've done it, but it's not the preferred one. If you get her to 50, she can work in Nightmare Co-op, given you've got 60s around you. Better off at 60, but would you use 60 her over like Cassandra? No, you wouldn't. So she'll work at level 50. Probably that's as far as you should take her. Just use her on medium co-op, but she can work in Nightmare if she's 60 and built well. All the boons, all the healing boons, will work in Nightmare Co-op. That's for certain. This guy, I had a discussion about this last year. He can actually work in Nightmare Co-op on Marshall as a support DPS. This because on Nightmare co-op you need lowers attack speed. It's one of the crucial things you need on blue co-op War Week, because without this you'll get destroyed. It's in the text, it lowers something like 70% of the attack if you get lowers attack speed. So hit this guy, you want like 80 plus accuracy, and as a support DPS in a Nightmare team he works well. Would you build him? There's a better one that does the job that you should probably build first, but if you have put time into him, it's okay. He's usable. If you don't want to use him in the top one, use him in the bottom one, but he's definitely usable as a support DPS on Martial set in co-op. Here's another one. This is one of the best characters in the whole game, just like Goria's. Water's a very strong. It's a very strong set. This chick can't do OH, but she's a Steel Widow queen. She will go all the way from bottom to top of Steel Widow, no problem, without a doubt. On Adept, I've used it with Garai, Steel Widow 15. She's perfect. She will rip in arena most defenses. She will batter in Guild War. So definitely worth building two. OP, just OP. The bombers, I've heard they're good at pushing back in an arena, but in real terms, nah. They're not that good. They're not that good. They're totally skippable. Fairy, I've said about fairies in a different video. Fairies are pure DPS. Get that attack speed to plus 2.0. I'm telling you, with any defense, put it with like Goria's or lowers defense, and I'll get to the Valk here. This combination, those three combination, beautiful, beautiful. Just shred anything, absolutely shred. We'll work on like Martial, but Rapid, because you get an early set of Rapid, and you quids in that attack speed shoulder. This one is supposed to be for OH. The Mortal Wounds is supposed to help with OH. Not really done it. Missing bonus damage based on the missing HP. Get you Withering on her. Withering probably Adept. Get that Mortal Wounds going, and she's supposed to be good for OH. As yet I've untested her because I've only just got her to 6-star, but I will test her at some point on OH. As I will test all of them properly on OH, but that's what they're supposed to be. Would you spend any time on her though? I think you'll find better. I think she's only like a mediocre kind of player. This one I have got. This one. This is supposed to be for OH again. The block buffs, and the mortal wounds, which is supposed to be for OH, and the boosting and the strength as well. I will get around testing this properly, but again, I think you'll get better elsewhere. This is not my. There's two mercs that are better than this one, which you will get, and I think you can get better. It's really the red team, the fire team, that's more preferential to build than this chick, but she can be used in OH. The Valks, all the Valks need a good build. This one you won't be wasting your time making to 60. She's the main one you would use in Nightmare as the trait for the raised attack speed to pop off to Fairy. You don't really use that. This is actually good because it raises attack speed and haste, which means that if you've got the Water Bee in this team, she just like doubles his damage, or her damage, if you will. Doubles the damage on it. The skill cooldown, all this is needed. The support heals is also needed. This woman is cracked. You should build her definitely to 60, and she's great for Nightmare co-op. Zoe. Now the description I think says like must have endgame or something. What the thing is with this chick is she's supposed to be hallowed, and she's one of the few to raise attack as a water. She's supposed to be hallowed in a hallowed team. Sorry, not in a hallowed team. Sorry, for Nightmare co-op. This is why it says endgame on her, and she can work. But she's a party piece. You know, like once you've got the basics done, you then build her for a different team to go into something else. But that's what you use her for. It's hallowed in a nightmare team. So she is worth a build, but it's after you've done everything else. It's not an immediate build. This guy, great in 5v5. That's about it. There's nothing else to say about this dude. I mean, they've got this trait, but that's you know, what else can we say? Another one just for 5v5. Lowers attack speed. Should be alright in co-op. Should be alright in co-op, but I'm going to say I haven't tested him yet because I don't think I've got him geared well. But and there's not many people around in co-op at the moment, in all honesty. But he should be okay in co-op. Medium for certain. Nightmare, don't know. He'd be in the same boat as this guy. They're pretty much the same. It's just about DPS. This guy, let's move on to this guy. Lowers attack. This does work well, but you've got to manually do these, and it's got to be on hard and nightmare co-op for this to work for the lowers attack. Again, it's a variant team. You wouldn't necessarily build him straight away, but you could use him in nightmare co-op. So if you have spent some time on him, don't go anywhere over the 50 for now until you've built everything else. That's about it. This guy is extremely good. Extremely good. If you pull any of these timekeepers, and put it this way, the dark one is probably the best one. But we're not talking commodus now, are we? The dark one's probably the best one. The red one, the blue one and the yellow one are just behind. The green one is probably last. But they're all very good, and they work very well in blitz. You could 6-star one of these and use them all the way in blitz. You can use, as I have done, this guy can go up to Steel Widow 15. And if you're just using commodus, he's like your main trait user because the Timekeeper's traits go over everything, as opposed to like the Valk's trait who just go over the water one. So he's a variant trait and very usable. Very useful. So don't be disappointed if you've put time into this guy. I've got 2 of them at level 60, and they are cracked. They're very good. So let me sum up these ones. The main ones you want to build: the Timekeeper, the Valk, Rona, Garai, and then the Fairy. Not in any particular order, but if you're building water, those are the best ones. We'll go to the 2 stars. It tells you to build this guy. He's great. He's great. He will work up to Steel Widow 13, maybe. He's okay in blitz. He's okay in most places. In co-op, they've got some sort of bug that makes them invincible. In the bottom one, because I did it. Like a 30-minute run. If you look at my YouTube, you'll see it somewhere. This guy is very good. Building to 50, but you'll get better healers after that.
A dragon never rests.
This guy,
Always vigilant.
this guy is OP. He's very, very, very important for Nightmare Co-op. Believe it or not, a 2-star is extremely important. He's lowering attack speed and attack literally constantly. Forget about the fear. That's pointless in co-op. But these two, it's just great. You need to lower the attack speed, as I've said, and you need to lower attack. There's 2 skills you need to do in Nightmare Co-op, and he's got them, and they're very low skill cooldown. So he's definitely worth a 60, like the other Dragon Guard, the fire one. Depending on how many times you want to run, whether you build more than one. He can work at level 50, which is good. If you build him with a bit of HP, he can work at level 50. So you don't need to put that much into it, but he's essential for Nightmare Co-op if you are looking to build that way. Veronica, I've used her in Nightmare Co-op as well. The lowers attack helps, and the healing, the nice little regen. So I've used her as well. As long as you've got that lowers attack speed in the team, it's fine. This guy is meant for OH. Well, not really testing there. This guy, again, I've used in Nightmare. Will work with the raised defense if you want to do it, but you've got other ones that with raised defense that would probably work a little bit better than him. This guy's OP, very much worth a build. If you haven't got the light one, this is like let me put into rating terms. If the light one is the best one, which a lot of people say it is, and let's say he's 10, this one's like 9.9, 9.8. It's only just a little bit less, but gears can overcome that to make him better than the light one. Very, very good. He'll work all the way through Blitz. Not so much on bosses. PvP content, great. And Blitz is great. So, another one, cheeky one to build. Easy to skill up, easy to level up. Job done. This guy is like the blue version of Rota, but it's just where to put him. So he's like a speciality for Nightmare or any co-op really, and the bosses. But you probably don't want to put Tam because you probably just use Rota instead. This one, again, it's a party piece. Not really much worth putting Tam into that. Same for this. It's a hallowed one that you would use for like the middle one or the bottom one if you're just messing about, like if you had in a bot, for example, just to keep yourself fresh. Same for this, is a troll piece. Troll piece again, and another troll piece. I've actually got that one to 60 just the other day, and there is no 1-stars that you can pull from a combination that's water. So there we are. There's the water champions. I hope that helped. Comments in the bottom if you want to ask me something. I'll try and get back to you all as soon as possible. Hope you enjoy.